Welcome guys. So today's topic will be on assertion. So you must know like what are some common assertions that are available to us and when we can use which assertion. Okay. So assertion are broadly classified into two categories, BDD and TDD. So BDD is subclassified into explicit and implicit. Okay. So in BDD, explicit assertions are the ones which starts with expect. Okay. And implicit assertions are the one which start with should. Okay, so that is one thing. Then we also have TDD assertions that start with assert. So TDD assertions are almost similar to the test ng assertions like assert dot equal assert dot not equal assert dot right. So there are different list of TDD assertions in test ng that we have. So they are almost similar to that. And most of the times, out of all these three, we will be needing only should, right, which is an implicit assertion. Okay, it can be chained as it is with our psi command, but explicit assertions we can use in cases where if you want to interact with an element again and again. Okay, you catch an element and then you explicitly assert multiple assertions. But for implicit assertions, guys, we have a solution like we can chain assertions. We will also discuss how we can chain assertions. Okay, let's just get started first. So what is implicit assertion? So let's say before even typing this element, okay, I just want to ensure that element is visible. So what I have to do is, once I write my psi command, okay, I would just say dot should. I have gotten my element over here, and I am just checking now the element, my element which I have gotten, it should. We have to use should method, right? And then b dot. So these are the various assertions available to us. Be visible, be above, not be visible, not be above. Okay, and what else we have? Let's just see. B dot always called on, or argument, or let's say two dot have, sorry, not two dot have dot a property. So if you want to check if it has a property, let's say comma class. This is what I want to check. Means after typing into the element, I should have a property class, right? And after that, I should type last name. So this is implicit. We have chained directly over here, right? So in my test one, I will use one explicit assertion. So over here, I have in previous video. So we were over here. We have got the element. We have discussed about wrap command. After this, let's say I just want to make some checks on that. So explicit assertion, sorry, it's not explicit. It should be expect, use expect. So we have to write expect my ELE. What do I expect my ELE to be? And that always goes with something like dot to dot b dot below bind call or called, and you also have you have like literally a lot of assertions that you can be that we can be using. Okay, so let's say I just want to check some visibility. Okay, expect ELE to be visible. Okay, and then I want to perform something. So this is an explicit way of calling assertion. So let's just save it and let's observe our test runner. It has started and it goes with test one. Test one had explicit assertion. So what we expected is expected to be visible, which is true, and the element is visible. Okay, then later on we had this assertion, right? My last name to have property class, but it doesn't have a property class. Okay, so that is how, guys, you can check and assert implicit and explicit ways. Now also, how can we do multiple assertions? Okay, let's say I want to do some multiple checks on the same element. So I would just say dot should be dot visible. Okay, so since it doesn't have a property, I can also negate this assertion. So what is assertion negation? That instead of checking have a property, I can also do not have a property. Okay, so this is also a case where you can actually negate your assertion. Now this is my chaining of assertion, and also there is another method by which you can chain assertion. So let's say I want to continuously check something. So I want to check that it should be visible, and is another method that we can use, and let's, which one should we use? Let's just scroll down. Let's, do we have something, and have dot length. And if you see, have dot length accepts second parameter also. So let's just say, okay, let's keep it blank, though it will fail, but it would be having some length, right? So this is how you chain multiple assertions. So you have also this and variable hope, guys. This is visible. I will just scroll toward this side. So this is our assertion chaining. Now, since we are doing assertion chaining, I also want to discuss, guys. So what do you think? What will be the timeout? So in our previous sessions, we have set the default timeout for our DOM-based commands to be 6,000 milliseconds, right? So now what JavaScript or Cypress does is they would actually check every assertion until and unless the default time of 6 seconds is not reached, okay, and it would keep on retrying. So let's say my this assertion fails, then it will retry all the assertions again, and it will continue that process until 6 seconds, because that is our default timeout. After 6 seconds, it will, if it is not successful, it will just throw an error, okay. So it has inbuilt retrial mechanism, which is an important concept you have to understand, okay. And let me just run this. So there is something undefined cy.type failed because it requires a DOM element. I don't think we are missing any bracket or something. Dot type last name. Okay, let me just I think since this assertion is failing, let's just try this. Okay, it is checking for the assertions, right? So it says expected this element to have a length of 0 but got 1. So because we have checked, like we, so by default it has checked for 0 length, but if you do 1 over here, it will actually check for this length, right? Because its length is actually 1. Now guys, another important concept that you have to understand is in expect, right, you have all of these methods. Expect to be at least, so expect 10 to be at least 10. So this is one such example. And you can compare numbers, you can compare strings also. So even this is there, expect test to have length of at most 4. Okay, so all of these are assertions, guys. I will leave this link in the description. So there is a lot of complete list of assertions that we can use, and you need not remember all of them. It's just that you should know that something like this exists with Cypress, and you can use it whenever the time comes. Okay, and you can also have, look over, we have some common assertions like length, right? With should we have this have length 3, so which we just use, not have class disabled. So similarly, you have list of assertions. We can check like value also, we can check text also, should have text Joe Smith, include text. So you have to go through this entire assertion. We cannot discuss all the assertions here. Okay, so we have discussed assertion, we have discussed timeout, right? And let's just also discuss one important property, guys. Okay, so there are some default inbuilt assertions. For example, your cway.visit command expects the page to send 200 status code. If it is not sending, so this thing, if you would see, you need not explicitly mention that my page should return 200 status code. This is something inbuilt in Cypress. Okay, you cannot assert this, or you should not assert this. Okay, and contains also expects the element to eventually exist in the DOM. So these are some default inbuilt assertions in these DOM commands. Okay, I will also leave this, just give it a read. I will leave this link in description. For example, type expects the element to be in typable state. Alright, so these are known as some of default assertions. Apart from BDD, TDD, we have default assertion mechanism. And apart from this, on element level also, we have some default checks and actions performed. Like any DOM element, if I'm using, by default, the Cypress will check all these things for you. Unlike Selenium, where you have to mention wait for element to be not to be hidden, right? Wait for element to be visible, or wait for element not disabled, right? So use explicit waits in Selenium, but over here Cypress does this checks by default. So for every element, it will do all these checks by default, irrespective of you define it exclusively or don't. But it will check for these things. It will check for visibility, disability, detached mode, read only mode, animation covering. So everything it will check. It will only interact with the element once all of these conditions are satisfied. If any of this condition fails, it will not interact with the element. So that is actually where we have also capability to override these default checks. So that we have to cover practically, which is known as force colon true. Using that statement, we can override these default checks. Then Cypress will override all these default checks and it will force something into the element. So that we have to cover practically, guys. So that obviously I have to, while we are scripting for the framework, we'll cover in that session. Okay, so that is all, guys, on overall assertions, your default retrial mechanism, your default checks and actions performed on element, your default built-in assertions. Okay, so you must know these things. So thank you, guys. We'll catch up in the next video probably with another important concept. Do like and subscribe.